This is Math Expressions, Unit 7, Lesson 8. And of course, as always, you guys are probably getting tired of me doing this, but name, class number, and the date that you're working on this page over there. Alright, so this is kind of a wrap-up. There's one more lesson, but this is really kind of the review lesson for what we've learned so far about quadrilaterals and polygons and things like that. Specifically about quadrilaterals. So let's, right here, name quadrilaterals, and the directions right here say to place a check mark beside every name that describes the figure. So, for example, I'll do number 1. So I'm looking at this figure and I see, is it a quadrilateral? Does it have 4 sides? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a quadrilateral, so yep, there. Is it a parallelogram, right? So I'm going to erase those marks. And is it a parallelogram? Is this side parallel to that side? Is this side parallel to that side? Yep, it's a parallelogram. Is it a rhombus? So I'm going to erase these. And a rhombus, remember, the lengths of the sides are all the same. So it's like a square that's been pushed over, and it's kind of hard to tell. I'm gonna guess without measuring it. I'm gonna guess that, like, if this is side A and this is side B. Right now, side B looks longer than A. I'm kind of thinking that they're wanting you to say that they're the same size. So I'm gonna say yes. Is it a rectangle? Is it a rectangle? So remember, rectangles, you could put a little box in the corner, a little square in the corner, and you can't do that. So no. And is it a square? And well, if it's not a rectangle, it can't be a square, right? Because remember, a square is a kind of rectangle. So that's kind of the process that you're going to go through for 2 and 3 here. Actually, for all these, you're going to go through and use the check boxes for all those. And really, that's all the heads up that I could give you on that one. So go ahead and work on this page, and then when you're ready to go, we will go on to the next page. Okay, and if you're ready, let's go ahead and go on to the next page. So, again, as always, name, number, and the date that you're working on this page. And then when you're ready to go, we will continue here. Alright, so right here, this word says to analyze quadrilaterals. So analyze means to look closely at the different aspects of quadrilaterals, okay? So, and then number 10 says, for each figure, put X's under the descriptions that are always true. Always true. So we're going to put X's underneath descriptions that are always true. So, for example, a quadrilateral, let's just kind of go one at a time here, and we'll just go straight across. So, does a quadrilateral have 4 sides? Well, that's literally what it means, right? Quad, 4 sides. So, yes, definitely that. Quadrilateral, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Well, that's not always true. It could be, but it's not always, right? A quadrilateral is simply any figure that has 4 sides. The next one over here, so I'm looking at this one. Both pairs of opposite sides are the same length. Again, it could be, but not always, right? This one, 4 right angles. Again, could be, but not always. Last one, all sides are the same length. Well, could be, but not always, right? So that's the process here. So you're going to go through and you're going to do the same thing for trapezoids and parallelograms and rhombuses and rectangles and squares. Fill in all that. And then when you're ready to go, so pause the video, fill in all that, and then when you're ready to go, let's look at this next section. Okay, so let's look down here. It says to use the finished chart above to complete each statement. Okay, so number 11, parallelograms have all the features of quadrilaterals plus, right? So a parallelogram, so we're kind of looking at parallelogram and quadrilaterals. It has all the features of quadrilaterals, which is just has 4 sides. So what are the additional features, right? We're going to just kind of list those here. Parallelograms also have what? And that's where we're going to list those, right? And then we're going to do the same thing for all of these. So if you want to go ahead and do number 11 and then, so pause the video and then start back up and then continue on to number 12 with me, you can, or you can just kind of go with me and then go back and do all the work. So pause it if you're going to pause. All right, so let's go on and look at number 12. So number 12 says that rectangles have all the features of parallelograms plus, okay, so same thing. What are the additional things that rectangles have that parallelograms don't? So again, go ahead and list all those things there. And when you're ready to go, let's go on to number 13. Okay, so I'm looking at 13 now. Now we're talking about squares. Squares have all the features of quadrilaterals plus. So again, we're just comparing squares to quadrilaterals. What are the additional things that squares have that quadrilaterals don't always have, right? Okay, and when you're ready to go, let's look at number 14. Okay, so number 14, rhombuses. Rhombuses all have all the features of quadrilaterals plus what? So again, list all those things, and then when you're ready to go, we'll go on to the next page. All right, so let's go ahead and go on to the next page, and again, name, number, and date. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and continue. All right, so right here it says to draw quadrilaterals from a description. Okay, so we're going to draw each figure. So we're going to draw, it looks like we're going to draw 3 figures in this area over here. And I would say, so like, we'll call this one 15, and then we'll scooch over a little bit, and maybe call this one 16, and then scooch over a little bit, I don't know, call this one 17. So hopefully, hopefully in this space it could be 15, and 16 and 17. So hopefully you'll be able to do that. Okay, so number 15. So here we go. Draw a quadrilateral that is not a parallelogram. So go pause the video and go ahead and draw that in this area right here, number 15. All right, so now let's go on to number 16. Yeah, so maybe I'll cut this up like that so you can see the spaces a little bit more easy. Okay, so number 16, draw a parallelogram that is not a rectangle. All right, pause the video, go ahead and do that. All right, then number 17, it says to draw a rectangle that is not a square. Pause the video and draw that. Okay, so now we're down here. What's the error? Hi, Puzzle Penguin. So it says, Dear math students, today I had to draw a quadrilateral with parallel sides that is not a rectangle, square, or rhombus. So I'm going to read that again. Today I had to draw a quadrilateral with parallel sides that is not a rectangle, square, or rhombus. And this is my drawing. Is my drawing correct? If not, please help me understand why it is wrong. Your friend, Puzzled Penguin. So down here on number 18, write your answer to Puzzled Penguin, why his drawing is not a quadrilateral with parallel sides that is not a rectangle, square, or rhombus. All right, and when you're done, that's the end of lesson 8.